To start off, I'm using some of these wall stickers from the Dollar Tree, and they are gold. I picked up 2 packages of those. And instead of using ribbon, I wanted to decorate like the trays of my 3-tier tray. This is my galvanized metal one, but I didn't want to use ribbon. And so I thought these little metal butterflies would be perfect, like, because they're like a metallic gold against that like galvanized metal. I thought it'd be really cool. And they fit on there almost perfectly. And so I'm just going to start like scattering these around, and we're going to go around and decorate all 3 tiers. I thought that was kind of an unexpected, fun way to decorate like a large tier tray like this one. And a lot of you guys ask where I got this tier tray. I actually got it at Target in their kitchen section, but I think that they clearanced them all off already, because I did buy a second one, I think, when they did that. But I love them. They are really big, lots of room for decorating. And I like to use these kind of wreaths to decorate the top tier. They're circular, so they go around the pole perfectly. I actually picked that one up at the Target Dollar Spot. And then I wanted to use some flowers from the Dollar Tree. These are the lavender ones. I thought these would be really cute for a butterfly tier tray, because it looks like a beautiful like butterfly bush or a flower, something like that, that you would find a butterfly landing on. So I'm just going to save the leaves just by pushing them up before I'm just cutting this apart with some of my floral scissors to give myself some little like floral picks that we can use to decorate this tier tray. We're gonna start on the top tier and move our way down, but we're gonna use that little wreath, that boxwood wreath that I got at the Target Dollar Spot on top. And I also want some of this lavender to kind of put in there too, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut all these so that I have them ready to use for filler on all 3 of our tier trays. So see how well that fits on the top of a tier tray, and it kind of goes over the side. So a fun little use for a wreath. I also put in a few of the little lavender. Now for our first butterfly DIY, I got this great wood butterfly in the crafter square at Dollar Tree. It's kind of large for a tier tray, but I thought we could make it work. But I don't really want to outright paint it. I want to stain it. So to do that, I'm just going to use my favorite Caribbean blue color and mix it like half and half with water just to give myself a blue stain. You can do this with any kind of acrylic paint. It works out well. And the reason I did that is because I want that wood grain to come through. I want it to look kind of old and antique and distressed. So just using a makeup sponge, I'm using that thin paint to go all over my little butterfly. I think that gives kind of a more fun effect than just straight out painting it. I like how it looks when it dries. And then I just use a paper towel to kind of wipe off the excess paint. Now, this is a tier tray and it is kind of large, so I was worried that you'd be able to see it from the other side. So we're going to have to just flip it over and do the same thing here on the other side. Now, sometimes this like raw wood from the Dollar Tree kind of has like a natural like darker wood grain in there, and this one kind of did towards the bottom. You can see like kind of the brown striping. I liked that, so I kind of wanted more of that. So I'm going to use some Antique Wax by Waverly and a chunky brush from the Dollar Tree and give some of my own distressing to this as well. Just kind of working in one direction, kind of giving it that old feel again. And don't worry when you're distressing, if you use too much, you can always go over it with a baby wipe and wipe off any of the remaining. And I think it gave me kind of a cool finish. You could, if you wanted like a more colorful butterfly tier tray, you could get really creative with this and like make it multicolored or a particular butterfly if you want. But I'm totally kind of digging that blue butterfly theme. And we're just going to kind of lay it here against the pole on the top, down inside of that greenery, kind of peeking out. Super cute and fun. Okay, the next item was actually a wind chime that I got at Dollar Tree as well. I just want the cute little galvanized metal butterfly here. So it's just a matter of disassembling it, which is easy to do. Like the little bell was attached just by a chain, and like so is the hanger. So it's just a matter of like bending the metal a little bit, and you're gonna have a great little galvanized metal butterfly. I thought this would be a cute piece. It's just the right size for a tier tray. And then it's got like the blue and the green butterfly on that. I did kind of want to switch up the color to kind of make it match my blue butterfly theme though. So to protect the galvanized metal, I just put some paper towel down in, and then I'm just going to go in and paint like their teal blue, my Caribbean blue color that I liked. I thought that would be pretty. Just to kind of make it coordinate, because most of our butterflies today are going to be like this blue color. But if you like the colors that they have on those already, you could just leave it as is, just removing the chains and stuff like that. I kind of like the two-tone look, though, of the blue and the green together. And that's how it looks. And we're going to put this on the top tier as well, on the other side, opposite from the large woodwind. Now, I wanted some blue flowers to go with my blue butterflies, and I found these great flowers at the Dollar Tree. I just love the blue color. It's kind of a fun, like, beachy color of blue. It goes great with my decor. So again, just cutting down like little pieces to make great little filler for a butterfly tray. Flowers definitely go with the spring vibe, and of course go with the butterflies as well. So we're on the second tier now. We're just going to start scattering some of those little blue flowers all around. They're so cute and the perfect size, I think. Okay, next DIY. I picked this up at the Crafter Square as well. It is a little light up butterfly. They have these in like all sort of different types of shapes. Since I was doing butterflies, I tried to find anything I could that was butterfly. So I'm going to stain it the same exact way we did the large wood butterfly by using that Caribbean blue acrylic mixed with water. And it made it easier. You know, these things can be a little bit more challenging to paint because there are all like of the little nooks and crannies inside and around. I did take the little battery operated candle out before I started staining it, so I didn't get any on that. But since it's stain and not a paint, it doesn't have to be a perfect paint job, which made it easier for getting inside all these different areas. So just giving it a once over with that, and then wiping off the excess with a paper towel. Easy peasy, we have a cute little blue butterfly. And then I'm also going to distress it slightly with some Antique Wax by Waverly to kind of give it that same antique blue vibe that we did on the larger one. And then we have our little pop-in battery operated candle, and it even lights up. So super cute. This is the perfect size for a tier tray. It'd be cute whether you use the little light inside of it or not. Okay, next item from the Crafter Square. I picked up one of these galvanized metal butterflies with a stand, just the same as the flower one that I used for my flower spring tier tray video. And then I picked up some wall stickers and this great, like, it's like a floral pattern, but it's mainly like a lot of greenery on there. And I thought that would be cute. I like to decorate the galvanized metal with stickers. I find that is a fun way to decorate it, give it some fun without having to try to paint it. I find that when you paint the galvanized metal, they scratch really easily. So I cut it out larger than I needed and then stuck it on there. And then I'm just going to go in and trim it down to the butterfly shape with scissors. I thought it would be easier to cut it after the fact than to try to get it just the right size. So just trimming that down. And this is going to give me kind of a cool little leaf wallpaper effect there. Now, this middle section was a little bit more tricky because I couldn't get scissors in there, so I just used a razor blade to cut that along the bottom of my butterfly. It gave me a perfect cut. And I guess you could always kind of draw it on there and cut it down to size, but then you're going to have to like get it lined up perfectly when you go to put it on there. I am going to also try to cover like some of the top parts of the butterfly with some more of that greenery and a flower just for fun. Just kind of a fun effect on this sign. And you know, I love these signs because they're already screwed on to a base that's perfect for standing on its own in a tier tray. And I have filled this up with flowers. I also put some of that lavender in there that we cut up from before. Definitely looks like a butterfly vibe flower. And this is the perfect size for the second tier tray. Looking good. They have lots of butterfly stuff at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree, obviously. I picked up one of these little wood boxes as well. It has a little butterfly cutout in the lid. I didn't want the wood to be raw wood though, and I want my butterfly to be blue. So I thought I would stain it, but I didn't want like a dark stain that you traditionally get from Antique Wax by Waverly. So I kind of made a wash by mixing it half and half with water, like I did with the acrylic paint, to give me this really light color stain. And then wiping off the excess with a paper towel. Look at that beautiful wood grain on there. I'm going to do the same thing with a little box lid. I often see these boxes at the Dollar Tree Crafter Square, and I often avoid them because I don't know really what I would use them for, but they do work well for a tier tray because it's going to make a cute little box that you can stand on its side if you want it to. But we got that light stain color all over, kind of a natural wood. And then I told you I wanted my butterfly to be blue. I thought the easiest way to do that would be to just use a paint pen. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. This is a paint pen, I think from Target, just like in a light blue color. And simply just like coloring with a marker, just going to fill in the entire butterfly. If you wanted your butterfly to be multicolored, you could totally do that effect too. But I think this is nice and simple. And I think it's going to look great over here on the other side of my second tier. You can kind of like just sit it in there like that. A cute little butterfly box. Super fun and interesting. Okay, I needed some more greenery and I wanted to start on the bottom tier. This is another one of those wreaths from the Target dollar spot, but I need to cut this one because I'm doing it on the bottom tier and I want to wrap it around the pole in the middle to kind of give me that greenery effect like a shrub or something that a butterfly would be on. And it's wired, so it kind of keeps its shape as well. We're going to use more of that filler that we cut up earlier, the lavender and the little blue flowers from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to scatter those in there as well, kind of giving me that like butterfly bush look. Now I found another butterfly at the Crafter Square. They're easy to find if you look. This is the little frame one. It has the little frame, so I'm just taking that apart. I thought it would be fun to put like a flower in there instead of a picture. To kind of go with the spring vibe. We're going to have the little butterfly with a little flower in the frame. So the first thing we're going to do is stain it all over with that diluted Antique Wax by Waverly to give my butterfly that same light wood stain that we used before. And you know, you can also use, Dollar Tree has a brown paint that when you mix it with water makes a pretty nice stain as well. I have used that recently in one of my DIY videos and it worked out pretty well if you can't find the Antique Wax by Waverly, but I get mine at my local Walmart. Now, I was trying to figure out how I was going to pull this off because it just kind of had like a picture in there, but nothing really sturdy. So I decided to I had some like cardstock poster board sitting around. So using the little picture reference they had in there for size, I'm just going to use that to cut down the cardboard to kind of give me a more solid surface because it doesn't really, you know, have like a wood board or anything back there. It's just very lightweight how they put it together. and pop that in there. Now, I don't want my little flower to be that brown color. That's one of those craft board pieces from the Crafter Square. And so using a makeup sponge and some of that Caribbean blue paint, we're going to paint this into a cute little blue flower. So instead of having a blue butterfly on this one, we're going to have a blue flower with like the stained wood butterfly. Super cute. And again, this is the perfect size for a tier tray as well. It's going to be a nice height for the bottom of my tier tray where I have a little bit more room to work around. And I'm just going to hot glue that down onto that poster board that we cut down. And we have a little flower and a little butterfly frame. I think this was really cute. It was super easy to put together as well. We're going to stand it up down here. Kind of working around all my filler. Okay, the next item is not really a DIY, kind of a find. I picked up a galvanized metal butterfly tray at the Crafter Square, and this tray was going on my kitchen table, so I kind of needed a holder for my salt and pepper shakers, and I thought this would be the perfect thing. So instead of having it hanging, I'm just going to have mine laying flat. So no need for the little hanger in there. So I simply just cut it out. I'm going to leave it the galvanized metal. It could actually fit like 4 things in here. I really only need it to fit 2, but that's okay because you can always put them back in a different place if you wanted to. Just kind of a fun, whimsical little butterfly tray for my tier tray being on a table. So this little piece is decorative, but also functional, and I need it to lay flat so it can kind of do its job. And then I'm just going to stack my salt and pepper shakers in there. Super fun. I always like to try to do something fun with my napkins or my salt and pepper shaker on that one. I also found this great little wooden butterfly from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. Like I said, they have tons of options if you want to do a butterfly theme for a tier tray. We're going to stain this one the same way we did a couple of our other pieces with that like diluted Caribbean blue paint and give it a nice stain all over. Super easy to do, especially with one of those little makeup sponges. Love those for projects like these because you don't use too much paint. Now, I'm also going to do like the little base of it as well. When I started with this piece, I thought I was going to just use it kind of like a decorative piece, but it actually evolved a little bit, but I'll take you through all the steps. I wanted to decorate it again with kind of a leaf pattern, kind of like we did on that metal one. And so I got some of these rub-on transfers at Dollar Tree at the Crafter Square, and I thought we could do something fun on here with some of the greenery. I'm just going to go ahead and cut out some pieces that I think will look cute on there and give like a wallpaper effect on it as well. So it's not just a plain blue butterfly. It's going to have a little floral fun on here. So I cut all the pieces down individually. That way I can put them exactly where I want them. And they're just peel and stick. Sometimes I like to use my little Cricut tool from the Dollar Tree to scrape those down. Sometimes these are like really easy to put down, and sometimes they're a struggle. You have to kind of put them back down and scrape some more. Kind of depends on if you get lucky or not. I can't really determine what makes them better or not. But if you do mess up, you can always lay it back down and try to fix it. But I want to go all over with that leaf pattern, decorating the front of this butterfly. Now, when I said that this project evolved, you're about to see why. I decided instead of just a decorative butterfly with the greenery on here, this would be the perfect size to make like a napkin holder since it is going on my kitchen table. And so I happen to have 2 of these. And so I'm going to do the same blue stain on a second one. And I thought I could put like the 2 bases together and it's going to be like the perfect size to hold napkins. So not just decorative, this one's going to be functional as well. But first I need to get the back all stained with this light blue paint and then we can put the 2 together. Nothing like a little DIY butterfly napkin holder. This would be really cute for a party decor as well. And so I'm just going to simply hot glue them base to base here at the bottom. And it was a good thing that I had picked up 2 of these. Kind of by mistake, but it paid off in the end because it made a beautiful functional piece. Just squeezing those together, allowing the hot glue to dry. And then we can fill it up with napkins. I didn't have any spring napkins, surprisingly, because I DIY with those things all the time. So I'm going to kind of just use whatever I have. I actually had some short living ones. And we're going to put this down here at the bottom next to our salt and pepper shakers. Another decorative, functional piece. So cute and fun. I love that. Okay, I'm ready for another DIY. How about you? Now, when I told you Crafter Square has tons of butterfly things, I wasn't playing around because look, they have these as well. This is like an MDF version, a little bit different size and vibe going on. I wanted to cover it with something tropical like leaves to kind of go with my spring greenery flower vibe. And I picked up this wrapping paper. Actually, it's wrapping paper from the Dollar Tree and this like tropical print. I thought it might be kind of fun. You never know what I'm going to cover something with. And then I just turn the butterfly over on the back of it and draw the butterfly shape onto it. And then I can just use my scissors to cut the wrapping paper down to size. Just another fun, whimsical way to cover some of these boring butterflies with some fun spring patterns. And I am just going to decoupage it on with a little Mod Podge, kind of a thin layer because it is kind of a thin wrapping paper. I didn't want to go too crazy or get any bubbling. And just lay the butterfly on there. Definitely a fun and unexpected print. You could also use like some of that removable wallpaper from Dollar Tree as well. If you don't get it on there just perfectly, you can always use a sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree to like give you that perfect cut anywhere there's any areas that don't fit perfect. And there we go. I'm also going to go over the top of it with another thin coat of Mod Podge to make sure that it is sealed, has a nice matte finish. And then I want to use this on the bottom tier as well. I am going to have to DIY a stand of some sort to make it stand up. And so I thought just a couple of these little mini Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree might work. Just kind of gluing one on each wing. Hidden kind of out of the way, but functional because it's going to make it stand up on the tier tray. And this is a nice size butterfly as well. It's going to fit well down here where I have a little bit of room. And you won't be able to see the stands because they're going to fit down between all of the greenery and flowers that we've put in there. And I think this is just a really fun theme for a spring tier tray. I love the blue color. If that's not your vibe, you could totally take this any direction. You can have orange butterflies. You could have like, multiple colors. But I love how many things that I was able to find at the Dollar Tree. The butterfly selection was great. And they seem to have most of these items like year round. Not even just spring things because they were like almost all, like just in Crafter Square. And I love the surprise of like the little metallic gold butterflies all along my tiers.